Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Going Ballistic podcast. Let's make the intro simple. I'm Ryan Kleckner. I've got Jason Kleckner with me. Say hello, Jason.
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good.
Man, a lot has happened this last week. We have a lot of gun news from the government, buying the sniper rifle, getting to check that out, potential legislation issues. We had a horrible tragedy in New Zealand. It's been a busy week.
Yes, it has been a crazy week.
So, which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, I'm sure we should just dive right into the New Zealand shooting.
Okay.
That's probably the big news. I looked into it a little bit, and it was interesting that, speaking to the gun law side of things for New Zealand, that you have to be approved by the police, and they can deny whether you own a gun or not.
Yeah, they have serious gun laws.
Yeah,
And
they have serious gun laws.
You have to reapply for the permit too.
Right. And it gets even more extreme on like an AR-15 style gun.
Yeah.
So, guys, I mean, it's a horrible, horrible act. And it's just pure evil at work that does it. But again, like you've said a million times, Ryan, gun laws won't stop someone who wants to harm someone. It just won't.
Right.
As awful as it is. Now, I don't know if anybody got to see the video of it. I got to see it before it shut down. And it was really, I mean, it was horrible. But what an eye-opening experience at how fast everything happened. I mean, in my mind, I role play, if something ever happened, how would I react and that kind of thing. It was scary how fast it went down. I mean, it was just minutes. And, I've always kind of had that mentality of, do I really need to have my gun loaded while I have it, in my, hidden into the holster or, do I have time to cock it? Dude, it was fast.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer now. Yeah, it needs to be loaded and ready to go. If you did see the video, for me, it was a learning experience, really eye-opening and awful all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think your earbuds are causing some sort of static or something bad, Jason.
Because I'm holding them? I just try not to move.
Nope, it's real, like robotic, bad sounding.
Really?
Yeah, like something got disconnected or unplugged, or it's.
Well, hang tight.
All right. Yeah, so the idea is, Mike Tyson I think is the one that said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. All the plans you can have. It's good to plan. It's good to practice, but you never know what you're going to do. I mean, the bravest seeming, the most prepared people sometimes will freeze when they start getting shot at. And people that you don't think would be brave or be able to respond or react somehow have a cool head and can react. So you just never know until you're in there. But it's important to do your best. It's important to make quick decisions. That's where I'm a big believer of an okay decision now is way better than the best decision too late, especially emergency like that. Is anything you do, as long as you're doing something, I think is going to increase your chances of survival. If you just got up and charged the person screaming, you're going to have a better chance of surviving than just curling up on the ground and not doing anything. Your audio is much better. Perfect.
Okay.
So I encourage people to think that way, to think, not try to worry about what the most tactically right answer is. So if they're going to 3-gun matches, they're doing competitive shooting with their friends, or trying to go through training courses, don't get down on yourself if you do the quote unquote wrong thing, as long as you do something.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I've never actually watched something like that. So it was something to see. That's about all I can say about it.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, a lot of the chat has already been going crazy on the YouTube live video. Snakebite asks, did I get to serve with Chuck Pressburg? No, Chuck Pressburg got to serve with me. Yes, I knew Chuck Pressburg. Yeah, matter of fact, the first deployment to Afghanistan, I think I was assigned to his platoon. He was a platoon sergeant at the time as a sniper. And matter of fact, when Roberts Ridge happened and we were loading up the Chinooks on 2 separate missions that were going on at the exact same time, I was running back to the birds, and he was there with the manifest, the list of who was going on what bird on what mission. And I was originally slated to go on the Roberts Ridge one, and said, I don't want to go do that. That sounds boring. Like the action's over on this one. He said, all right. He took a grease pencil on the board and marked me to the other bird. And then Roberts Ridge, if you guys don't know about it, go look it up. That's where 3 Rangers died, and it was a horrible firefight and just a big old mess. And where we ended up going, where I thought all the action was going to be, nothing happened at all. So if you guys know Roberts Ridge, that was Chuck Pressburg's platoon. He actually gave the PL the platoon leader, a chance to go on the mission, because the officers normally wouldn't go on missions. And he was just doing it to let him go on a mission, and ended up being this way. And I know Pressburg's a good dude, and I saw him at SHOT Show, and it was awesome to catch up after years and years and years. But yeah, good guy.
Interesting. And then I wanted to jump into that thing that was on Facebook about, was it Connecticut? Am I right on that? The Connecticut Supreme Court.
Yeah, it was Connecticut.
That's allowing the victim's parents to go after Remington Bushmaster for not advertising correctly.
Well, so yes, it's a little nuanced. So first you have the Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act, what we call PLACA in the firearms industry, that came out in 2005, because gun companies and the industry as a whole were getting sued left and right by everybody. The industry was being bogged down by lawsuits. This is where the NSSF really played a great role, and my former boss, Larry Keene, kind of championed this. And they got this legislation passed, which insulates gun companies from these kind of lawsuits, except for when the gun company acts illegally or negligently, which is fair, right? So if the gun store is illegally giving guns to bad people, okay, now the gun store can be liable for what happens to those guns. Or if the gun store is not doing the paperwork the right way, or they're turning the other, they're looking the other way when they know that something shady is going on, so they're being negligent about something, they can still be held accountable. So what the plaintiffs are claiming here is that under Connecticut laws, you can't advertise certain potentially dangerous products that way to encourage their use. And so that's what the Connecticut law, not the federal law, the Connecticut law is saying, is that the AR-15 is a weapon of war, and therefore it is inherently dangerous, and Remington, through their advertising, encouraged civilians to own it. So it's true what you said, but I think a lot of people take it the wrong way. They're like, what, you can't advertise now? No, they're just saying, all right, Connecticut believes this is a weapon of war. They've banned it in Connecticut. You can't have a new AR-15 in Connecticut. All prior AR-15s had to be registered with the state, so you can't even like get a new one or transfer them, things like that. And so it's a dangerous weapon, and Remington, through their advertising, encouraged people to own it. And but for that, then maybe he wouldn't have had it, is kind of what they're saying.
Right.
So at the first chance at the lawsuit, the courts threw it out. They said, you can't sue the gun company for what this murderer did. PLACA applies here. And so on appeal, they said, well, we don't think PLACA should apply because we think Remington was negligent. And the Supreme Court, by the standard they have in Connecticut, said, okay, we agree that Remington may have been negligent here, so we're going to let the lawsuit continue.
That's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, it'd be like a drunk driver, hit and killed someone I knew, and I want to go after Honda or Chevy or Ford for not advertising that their vehicles were capable of that. I mean, at least that's what it sounds like to me.
I get it. Yeah, but because I don't agree with Connecticut. What Connecticut's saying is, well, no, this is different. It's not like cars. This is an inherently dangerous product. This is like a kid's toy that explodes, or this is like a poisonous, kids drink or something like that. So they're not. So that's how they would respond. I'm not responding. They would say, well, no, Jason, it's not the same. This is an inherently dangerous weapon of war. And this thing, because it's so dangerous, it shouldn't be available for sale like this. And that's why.
Well, let me ask you this, because you being in the military, are all of the assault rifle platforms full auto, or are they semi-automatic also?
Well, there's some that are semi-auto. There's some that are burst. So is it a full auto? You pull the trigger and it only fires 3 times.
Right.
You have to release and pull it again and it fires 3 times. And some are full auto. Oh, mine, anything that I had that was AR style like that was full auto.
But inherently, they're not the same. I mean, there's a reason they're not the same.
Right, a civilian AR-15 versus a military AR-15. The main difference is the military one has full auto.
Right.
But I don't know if that makes it any more. You can have a civilian full auto AR-15, perfectly legal.
No, my point being though is they keep addressing that it's a military weapon, and it's not. I mean, there's I'm assuming a line drawn that this defines military, and you need something to do with your FFL to own it. Or as a civilian, you can own this because it doesn't have these options, or in the AR-15, the full auto option.
Yep. I mean, I hear what you're saying. This is the debates I'd have with the college students all the time, right?
Right.
As we get into these, I'd say, okay, well, what? So let's say you have a tank, a military grade tank with a fully operating cannon, barrel, bullets, loads, whatever you call them. Everything's the same, except it's a manual transmission instead of an automatic transmission. Does that mean you don't have a piece of military equipment? That's kind of the anti-gunners approach. They're like, okay,
Right.
fine. So it's not automatic, it's manual. You mean you got to shift it every time? So now that's not military grade? Or, oh, you have a rocket launcher, but instead of the military one, you press the button and all 10 rockets go. The civilian one, you have to press a button each time for each rocket. They would say that's not a difference enough to make it, that matters. Then they hear the pro-gun people saying, but it's different. You got to press the button 10 times. And they're trying to argue, we don't care that you got to press the button 10 times. Our concern is that when you do it even once with the button. I disagree with them. I'm just trying to say that's their argument. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. We're like, well, they're different. The military ones are green and ours are red. So they're saying we're making distinctions that don't make a difference.
Right. It's all interesting. So what's new in the gun world? Any new cool toys, or you got something to show us?
Yeah, I don't have anything to show you. Sorry. But I have some pictures to show you. If you guys go check out Gun University, I just posted the article of it and updated the article today with some more pictures. Got to go out to Barrett. They invited us out yesterday. So Gun University got to be the first official group to go check out the MRAD for the ASR contract, the Advanced Sniper Rifle contract for SOCOM.
Nice.
So we got to. So if you go look at the article, you can see I have pictures of the regular MRAD and the MRAD variant that's for the contract, and got to play with them and got to tour the facility. I've been around the facility before, but take some pictures. You're like, I'm holding up a billet of 70-75 aluminum in one hand and then a finished receiver in the other. And it's kind of cool just seeing where it comes from. Got to do a video with them. The video is getting edited now, and it'll get up there on the post. And then after that, we went to my friend's property. Wow, I'm yawning. Sorry, everybody. Went to my friend's property and we did his rifle course, which I think you've heard me talk about before, where it's like a hunting course. You get to walk through the hills and you're out of breath and heart's pumping and leaning off the side of a tree, taking a shot of the small steel target somewhere out there. So it's a neat little course.
That's awesome.
He put together a pistol course. So we did that. And then we went to go do the pistol course, which was through a ravine. So, as you're walking up the little draw, you start to see targets, small steel targets all of a sudden appear as as you see them around the corners of the ravines. So it was really, really fun. So I was all excited about it, going, all right, great, let's do this. So let's do the pistol course. This is going to be so much fun because I'm competent with the pistol, I thought. Dude, I walked away from that realizing how much I need to practice again with my pistol. One, I'm not as happy with my SIG 320 sights as I thought I would be. So I had my sunglasses on and it was dark. So we're down in the ravine. So it was dark with sunglasses, and then the SIG sight was really wide. The excuse is I'm not good enough. The excuse is I need to practice more. I'm not trying to blame the equipment. I'm just saying because I'm not good enough, I wasn't able to overcome that. And so it was hard enough finding the sight. And then I just was either mashing the trigger because I was missing everything to the right, which was weird. Normally right-handed shooters will miss low and left of the pistol. And so I just would shoot and then take my time and be like, all right, here it is. Bang, missed. Going through the entire course. It was still very, very fun, but I left, and at the end of the course, we all were laughing about it. And my buddy had said, that's how he did the first time he went through the course. He set it up and just had a rude awakening on how perishable of a skill shooting a pistol is, especially when you're trying to walk up a ravine through a stream and trying to trot through stuff and have fun. So
now, how far away were you guys shooting? How far were the targets?
Oh, some were like 5 yards away and some were like 20 yards away.
Oh, cool.
Depending when they became visible as you walked up the ravine.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, yeah.
like 20 targets or something as you walk up the ravine.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I want to do that.
It is fun. So Gunsight has a course like that. They call it the Donga, and so it's just a wash. So as you know, the fingers of a wash come out, so it's easy to hide targets behind those, so you don't see them
Right.
until it's all of a sudden left and right as you walk down. It's really fun to do.
I've never been to Gunsight. I've been all around Gunsight. Never been in it though.
Be a good pistol course for you if you ever want to go do it.
Now, I know nothing of Gunsight. Is that something you can just set up and go do, or?
You can just sign up and go take a course.
Oh, nice.
Just a training school. Go look at their calendar. Decide if you want a handgun or a shotgun or rifle class. Now, it's great training. It's good on fundamentals. You'll become a better defensive, combative pistol shooter. Even in their 250 course, which is what I think would be a good course for you, Jason, you end up in the shoot house. So you'll be going through a shoot house by the end of the course. It's like a week-long course.
Nice.
It's a really good time. But now the downside to Gunsight, even though Gunsight's awesome, is they're a little antiquated on some of their tactics. So some of their tactics are fresh from the 80s and 90s. And people like me want to go, well, wait a minute, shouldn't you do X or Y, or wouldn't it make more sense? And then you realize real quick, I'm not here to debate stuff. I'm here just to learn. So if you get over like I shoot isosceles now, I shoot squared off with a pistol,
Right.
and they're all about Weaver. I mean, they want the complete bladed Weaver. They'll come over, and I've had an instructor there put his arms between mine and like move it so it would bend to my elbows to make me get in the Weaver while I'm shooting. It's like, guys, this is why isosceles can be better, or this kind of grip can be better. And so it's very Jeff Cooper style. But anyway, I went and did the 250 course and had an awesome time. And I'd recommend anyone go do it to learn how to shoot a pistol better and work on reloads better and things like that.
What's something like that cost?
I have no
Roughly.
idea. I have no idea. Probably $1,000 for the 5-day course.
Or there's so many washes and ravines here, I just get some steel targets and go make my own.
Right. You're not paying for the course. You're paying to have a professional instructor.
A professional training, yeah.
Yeah, for 5 days straight. I think you're shooting like 3 to 500 rounds a day, something like that.
Wow, it's a lot. Oh, to me, that's a lot.
Yeah, you got to bring a couple cases. All right, well, it's $1,750. So it's a 5-day course. It's $1,750. You go through 1,000 rounds. Well, not as many rounds as I thought. 1,000 rounds of ammo and 50 rounds of frangible ammo for the shoot houses, the simulators.
Interesting.
5 solid days of range work, lectures, low light night shooting with flashlight techniques, intensive indoor and outdoor live fire simulators. Yeah, it's a good course. You'll just get diagnosed. You'll be shooting quick. You'll be doing double taps and running drills and under a timer and having an instructor say, hey, why don't you try this next, or why don't you do that? So
now, not to change the subject from that, but I've had people asking me about this $1,000 backpack of yours.
Oh yeah, well, I forgot to mention it last time. The contest is still going on, and it's not $1,000.
Oh no?
No, I looked up the price and it's like $600. So it's a lot. It's still expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than I thought it was. Anyway, what's the question about it?
Oh, they were curious if the contest was over, or is there a winner, or is it still going? Can they still sign up?
Oh yeah, they shouldn't be asking you these questions. They should be going and looking at the contest on Gun University.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. But
yeah, it ends in 12 days.
So
they got 12 days left for the Gun University giveaway for the Arc'teryx Bora 63 backpack. It's an awesome backpack. You got 12 days left, and I'm giving away an iPad for Mayday Safety, and I listed the contest there on Gun University. You have to go over to Mayday Safety's website to do it. But I just want people to download the app. So what you have to do to get in that contest is download the Mayday Safety app.
Oh man, why would you give anybody an iPad? What a horrible gift.
It's just as popular as the backpack, and the backpack's more popular. These are my 2 most popular giveaways. The backpack is more popular than the rifle.
Interesting.
So we have the ammo giveaway from last week, where you get to pick any box of MagTech ammo. Thank you to MagTech for being such an awesome sponsor. We need to pick a winner. So I'm going to pick a winner right now. I'll let you guys know who won for the ammo contest. So it's whatever they have in stock. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be doing this live because it's making me pause. But I'm trying to figure it out. All right. So who won is David D from Columbus, Ohio. So David D from Columbus, Ohio. Congratulations. You get your pick of MagTech ammo to try out on MagTech. They'll be shipping you a box. You get to pick it out. Jackie will reach out to you and work with you on this one. So, David, congratulations, man. Good work. We'll get a hold of you.
And if you can,
go ahead.
Let us know what you pick. I'm interested to hear what the choice would be.
People haven't been sharing very much about like, hey, here's a picture. You know, that's what I think they should do. Like, yeah, let us know. So, David, when we send you some ammo, let us know how it worked out for you.
Yeah, curious.
Oh, Jackie's live right now. She's jumped on the chat. So if you guys want to ever talk to Jackie, there she is right there.
Hi, Jackie.
So yep. So we got the winner, Jackie. I need you to email him though, please.
And then I know we're just bouncing around randomly tonight, guys. But there was a thing that passed. Well, I caught the news secondhand, but apparently Twilight had brought it up that originally at a school campus or school grounds in Arizona, you were allowed to have a gun so long as it was unloaded and in your vehicle on school grounds.
Okay.
And I guess there's a new law now that allows you to have a loaded gun, but it has to stay in your vehicle. I don't know what the big jump from that would be. I didn't know if you knew or heard anything about that.
No, it used to be a federal law up until 95. And that's actually one of the biggest benchmark cases for interstate commerce control from the federal government is actually the guns on schools law. So it's actually, the case is called Lopez from 1995. And so even when you're not talking about gun stuff, just like in law school, you talk about interstate commerce pre-Lopez and after Lopez in 1995, because that's like the biggest division in how we've seen the federal government's power. Because in 1995, the Supreme Court case, there was the kid Lopez had a gun on campus, and they argued that it was an overreach of the federal government to tell schools what they had to do for gun-free zones or not. And Lopez won, so the federal government had to back off, and then every state scrambled and had to make their own gun laws for schools.
Right.
And so it's up to the states. So no, I don't know what Arizona did versus anyone else. You know, in Tennessee, same thing. You can have a loaded gun in your car.
Interesting. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I mean, I'm all for arming the teachers, man.
I agree too. Yep. Precision Rifle Reviews asks, my New Zealand trip still on? Yeah, as far as I know, I wouldn't. I mean, I guess unless New Zealand outright bans guns before I can get there to teach you guys.
You know what? That's interesting, though. You know, since the shooting in New Zealand, normally after something happens like that, there is nothing but stuff on news on how we need to do stuff, gun law this, gun law that. I've not heard a peep.
It hasn't been on TV, I don't think, but there's been a lot of people calling for it. This typical people come out. David Hogg comes out and stuff like that and says, "Hey, you got to do it." Yeah,
I mean, just media wise, it's weird. I was expecting to see all these things, and I've really seen nothing in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff going on, but I mean, it's not publicized or, you know, through the media type stuff that it normally is.
Yeah, it hasn't been much. It'll come up in the next debate or something, I'm sure. But oh well. Well, dude, since we kind of bounced around tonight and we didn't get into, we don't probably have a whole lot to go anyway, and I'm tired. Are you tired?
Yes, I am actually. I gotta get up in a few hours, but I wanted to be on anyway because I knew it was a crazy week. I was curious your thoughts, and of course, always look forward to seeing everybody on Tuesday. It's kind of the highlight of my week.
Well, we like having you on here too, Jason.
I appreciate it.
Since we're tired, I'm sorry, guys. I think we should just call it early tonight. We covered a few topics. I'm going to take my kids camping tomorrow because they're on spring break. So I'm going to take them out, and I think it's their first time. Can you believe it? Like, what kind of collector am I?
What? You've never taken your kids camping?
Well, you know where I live. You've seen pictures where I live. So
yeah,
every day my kids are running around with squirrels under trees on our property. So it's like when we lived in Phoenix, you had to go camping because you're surrounded by concrete.
That's right.
You know, but here it's like the dogs get to run around and smell animals and play. They have a tree house, and so they haven't been camping, but it's because they kind of, I guess, don't need to. I don't know. Bad excuse.
Yeah, it is. Well, I tell you, the one thing we miss you guys at is the annual collector camp out. That has been and I know we've talked about it on here, but that has been our ongoing family tradition for as long as I can remember, since I was little, man.
Mm-hmm.
That as many of our family members locally that can get together, we all meet for, between 5 or 6 days or 3 days or 2 days or whatever somebody can make it up.
Yeah.
I look forward to it every year.
People start throwing knives at each other.
Yeah. We're in the woods. We're allowed to do it there. We can't do it at your house.
I'm going to be like, all right, kids, welcome to camping. We're officially in the woods.
That's right. There's no rules here.
So we were actually we were at church on Sunday, and we were trying out some churches and found one we liked going to, and we're like, oh, okay, because we haven't really gone to church. This just hasn't been kind of a part of our lives, and decided to go check it out. And they're talking about the church. They're like, hey, we're going to men's group, and the men's group, we're going to meet on this night, and we're going to have fun. It's going to be like a fire pit, and we're going to throw axes because that's super cool. And what was funny about it is it seemed so stereotypically, hey, what do we do that sounds like it's manly? Let's throw some axes at targets. They're trying to be so edgy. And I was laughing from our conversations. We're like, you kidding me? That we throw them at each other. Like, you guys are just going to be throwing them at the wall. That's nothing.
You got to try to catch it.
Yeah. Well, that's why a hatchet has a handle, right? It's a safe space to catch it by.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember me and Terry used to shoot arrows at each other and try to catch them. We wouldn't do full draw.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did. We got yelled at actually by my dad and some other people. But yeah, we'd get the compound bow back just far enough where it wouldn't break. And it was fast enough that it was really hard to catch it. But yeah, we did some stupid stuff, man.
Yes. That doesn't even sound real. That's crazy.
No, that's a real deal. I mean, I look back at all the things I did as a kid, and I'm like, dude, I shouldn't be alive.
Yeah.
I never told my kids any of those stories, so they were old enough to not want to go try it. So
tried to catch arrows. Wow.
Well, like I said, they weren't full speed. I mean, they were moving fairly fast, but I mean,
they were fast enough that you couldn't catch them. They're fast enough you wouldn't have wanted to take one on the belly.
I don't think it would have really stuck you. But
if it's fast enough that you can't catch it, it's going to stick you.
Well, I can't remember it because, I was young. I was like 14. But I don't think they were actually filled points on. I think we put like blunts on them. That way, if it did hit us,
I give you that. Yeah, wouldn't. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But no full draw stuff. There's no way.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy. Who would ever do that? That's funny.
But you can tell them we're in the woods.
That's true. Bryn asked, have you guys ever had a legitimate ND or AD? I have. Have you, Jason?
Have I ever had a what?
A negligent discharge or an accidental discharge?
Of a gun? Yes. Mm-hmm. Scary. I don't like it.
I think it's like motorcycle riders where they say there's two types of motorcycle riders, those that have laid their bike down and those that will. It goes against everything I preach for gun safety, but I'm a big believer in there's two types of shooters. Those that haven't had an AD yet and those that are going to have an AD or that have had one. Guys, it happens, which is why you follow the rules so that if you do have an AD, it's not pointed at anybody, so it doesn't hurt anybody or it's in a safe direction or things like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, when mine did it, and it was, oh geez, I remember how many years ago, but I thought for sure it was empty. I was actually with some people, and I've only had it for whatever weird reason, in a semi-automatic rifle, never in a bolt or a pump, but I just knew there wasn't one in there, but thank God I had it pointed somewhere else and just went to release the pressure off the firing pin, and it fired, and it scared the crap out of me. I mean, immediately in my head, I'm thinking, holy crap, dude, that could have gone bad so many different directions. Yep. So very scary. Not proud to say that it's happened, but it has happened.
It happens. Yeah. I cranked a pellet into the ceiling of a French military base.
Yeah, I remember that story. That's awesome.
So I got that going for me.
So yeah, I've had it happen, but it's not cool. It's definitely. It reminds me of like running a table saw. Every time I run a table saw, I'm like, okay, knock on wood, I've never nicked a finger, but there's times I start to get comfortable, and then I have to wake myself up and go, okay, getting too comfortable, man. Let's get back to the basics here. Because who wants to lose a finger? Nobody.
Right. Right. I mean, I've cut marks all over my hands. I'm sure you do too.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I'm scarred.
I've got pretty serious knife scars.
Yeah.
Most of them are on my left hand. Go figure.
Yeah. How about that?
Oh well. Now we're just rambling, guys. I love you guys being on the chat. I love you guys being here. Sorry, we're just rambling. I love you guys. I love hanging out with us. We like hanging out with you guys. There's a comment there that says autograph an item, Ryan and Jason, and raffle it off. I'm open to whatever you guys want to do, but I just think it's weird that you guys would even want something autographed from us. Like, that just doesn't. I'm not trying to pick on you guys. We're just Ryan and Jason, so it seems a little. Would that seem weird to you, Jason?
Oh, I'll give my autograph away. No problem.
Well, I autograph books, no problem, because that kind of makes sense. It's like, oh, it's a book, and you want the author. It's just, I don't know. I'm happy to do it. It just feels weird. It is a definite compliment, and I thank you. I just a little awkward,
No way. I want to be like Ricky Bobby, man. Just signing everything. Let's do it.
Dave actually says, ask me about bipod legs. Do I really hate them? So it's not I hate them. I prefer shooting off a bag. If you don't like a bag, use bipod legs, man. Knock yourself out. Whatever you do, if it's working, who am I to tell you to stop doing it?
Right.
I mean, if you aim to the left of the target and jerk the rifle to the right every time you shoot, and it works for you, knock yourself out, man. The advice I give is to try and make people better. If you don't need to get better, then don't listen.
Right. I like bipod legs. I mean, I shoot them. I enjoy shooting with them.
I've probably shot off them just as much as I've shot off a bag, honestly. Casey says he wants Jason to autograph his book just to stick it to me. That's
fine. I'll sign it.
You can stick it to me all day, Casey, when the money's in my pocket from you buying my book. Right? You got me.
I'll do you one better, Casey. If I can get that book, I will laser engrave on the laser machine my name permanently through the front cover.
Do you know what would be more popular, Jason? Is Twyla signing something.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I was on a podcast last night. I was on the We Like Shooting show, which was a lot of fun. And people on the chat for that podcast were bringing up Twyla. Like, when's Twyla going to be on? I look over the chat, and there's this panel discussion of other people in the firearms industry. And then other people would say, who's Twyla? Then somebody else would comment, oh, it's Jason's wife. It's one of the Kleckners. And people were in the comments talking about it. So Twyla's famous now. It's funny.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll let her know. Actually, she's looking forward to coming back on and talking school stuff with you.
Good. So, when are we going to have the 22 guy on?
He was not available tonight, but available any other Tuesday. So I will reach out to him and we will get a date scheduled.
Let's see if we can get him on next week. Might be fun to have a guest on.
It would be great to have a guest on.
As a matter of fact, we're starting to run out of stories. So Jackie, if you're still on the chat and listening, let's help get some guests. Everybody tell Jackie who you want on the podcast. We'll get some guests on here and Jason and I can talk to them. Because it's the same thing. We just send them an invite and then we can both ask them questions and go from there.
Yeah. And I'm definitely interested to hear what he has to say on the 22 stuff, especially someone who's very involved in it.
Yes, so let's use him first and then Jackie's still there. Let's get someone else on. Jackie, let's book some guests. Take whoever the people want to get on and get them on. All right.
I'm waiting for Jackie. Did she respond? Oh, she did.
Said, I'm here. Yeah.
I'm here.
Jackie's awesome. Jackie keeps me sane. Tries to keep me from working so much, but she works a lot too. I haven't even talked to. I don't think I've talked to Jackie. I talked to her yesterday briefly, but besides that, probably in over a week, just because I'm so busy, I can't even talk to my assistant. It's weird. Snakebite says, "Have Jackie on the podcast." I'll have Jackie on the podcast. You guys will be surprised how you wouldn't think I would hire Jackie. We are not politically the same, but I think Jackie's awesome. So, we can have some fun conversations. So Jackie says she's always available for autographs too. That's awesome. People might want Jackie's autograph. If you email us trying to get customer service or issues, Jackie's kind of my gatekeeper, and she does good with it because some people actually get mad that they can't get past Jackie to get to me, but sometimes that's what it takes.
Dude, Jackie's been great. She's on top of everything. She's always got my emails and stuff like on the spot.
That's awesome.
Anything that's ever come to me. No, she's been fantastic. Someday I'm going to meet you, Jackie. Someday. I don't know when, but someday.
All right, we'll figure it out. All right, dude. You have a good night.
You too, guys. Sorry we're belling on you early. I'm getting up in a few hours, and I don't know what Ryan's doing tomorrow. Probably going shooting or something. But us normal folks are going to get up and work tomorrow.
Sounds good, bud.
All right, guys.
I appreciate
Take care.
you being on here. Take care, bud.
All right, bye.
Bye.